there was like no connection. He was just talking about all kinds of random stuff. He's like a little bit nerdy, a little bit awkward. We love nerds, you know, but he was just a little bit awkward. He went like this. I was like, oh my God, I think he wants to hold my hand. So can you do it? We're going to demonstrate. So I went.
Oh my God, was he awkward or were you awkward?
Awkward.
Welcome to the Real and Relatable podcast, where no topic is off limits. We're the girlfriends that keep it real and give you different perspectives, because we know one way isn't always the right way.
Happy Halloween! Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Real and Relatable podcast. Before we get started, please click like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. So today's episode is going to be all about Halloween horrors, and not the kind you're thinking. Today we're going to actually share the scary side of dating. So who's got some scary dating stories?
I have one.
Okay.
I went on a date a long time ago, probably over a year ago. And I had a pair of concert tickets to go see Joji. I love Joji. We went, we had a great time. But after I hung out with him and met him and we just, we had a good time hanging out at the concert, I still just felt like, oh no, I see him as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
He continued to want to hang out and get to know each other, and I felt different.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed a lot of red flags. Now that I look back, like he was obsessively writing a lot, saying like, hey, I'm really serious. I'm looking for something serious. I don't know if you're ready for what I'm ready for, blah, blah, blah. I'm an avoidant as well sometimes. So
you weren't, that's what I was going to ask. So were you communicating with him? Were you avoiding him?
Did you ghost him?
I didn't ghost him.
Okay.
I was just writing to him less.
Oh,
but
so you were like tapering off.
I was distancing myself a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he was obsessively wanting to hang out often anyways. And I'm too busy for that anyways. But one day out of the blue, somebody makes an account and I only found out because my guy friends messaged me. He took my name and he made an account really similar, except for he changed 2 letters, but it was really similar. And he kept my profile photo, but the background photo, he put inappropriate things like female toys that are completely inappropriate. And he had a link to a website that's similar to OnlyFans. I don't remember what it's called, but it's similar to OnlyFans. But it was hosted by Wix. So I know because I wrote to that website and I threatened them and they said, hey, sorry, this is not really a site. This is hosted through Wix. It's a fake image of the site. So I was panicking and I didn't know what to do. I've never gone through anything like this before. And then suddenly before the end of the day, the site was taken down. And I asked myself, this is not random. It's targeted. It's because the thing is like nobody was benefiting. Nobody was making money. It was purely to get at me. And he was the only guy I was talking to. So during that time when I had tried to go into my Instagram messages, I realized he blocked me. So that's when I knew, okay, you know what? I know it's him.
It's totally him.
Yeah.
I know it's him. He blocked me completely. I don't know. It's so messed up. I talked to my friend who was in law, and she said that's completely illegal, and I need to file a police case, and I can look at IP addresses to see if I could track it to him.
Yeah.
But whether or not I sue or whatever, if I take him to court, the system would give him time to make it right and fix it and take it down. So I'm just like, this is overwhelming and I don't have time for this BS. Later on, weeks or a month or 2 later on, I don't remember exactly when, he unblocked me. He said, hey, Cash, how are you? And I just thought, the nerves. I blocked him.
God.
I blocked him. He unblocked me and wrote to me. And
audacity,
I was so
man.
pissed. I was so pissed. But, it's so scary living in a digital age, whether it's the fear of other people messing with you or messing with, like, if you have kids, messing with your kids, or it's so much easier to try to get at people when, if you're ill in your head.
Yeah.
And it's scary. This digital age we live in.
Yeah, like people like have no grace now, and their ego they just can't handle it. They can't handle rejection. They can't handle their emotions, their anger, their disappointment, and they want to lash out at other people.
Yeah.
It's really not fair. And then sometimes social media makes it really easy, and it's easy for them to hide.
Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy. It's really scary.
Yeah,
you know,
and
it's not
anything,
appropriate.
Anything, whether it's trying to mess with your ex or people who are obsessive and they're trying to get at their ex's girlfriend or whatever, or even if people are bullying in high school or college, it's just so much more accessible.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate.
That's really scary.
Be careful.
Mhm.
It's scary.
What about you,
Oh my God, did you
Heidi?
respond to him?
No, I blocked him.
Oh, okay.
I was so pissed, and you know what? I'm going to. Oh, I'm so busy. I gotta go to the cops for a couple of different things.
Wow, yeah.
But I have to file police reports.
Yeah.
You know,
Report everyone. I'm reporting everyone.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like, and actually that's a really good point because like if you're going through something, don't be afraid to tell your friends and tell your family and go to the police.
you have to.
Because you have to stop these people. It's not
And
not
people don't
right.
hold others accountable.
Yeah.
You have to hold
Yeah.
accountable.
You know what? Like if you do shit like that, you deserve to get in trouble for it. You deserve to go to jail, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not okay, you know?
Yeah, it is illegal.
Yeah.
Oops. Gosh, I don't think I've ever had horrible dates. Not like that. I think I had bad dates. You know.
Okay.
I mean, I think the worst date I ever had was. Oh my God, this is when I was younger, much younger, and I made really dumb decisions. Anyway, so he called me, and he was like down the street from me, and he's like, "Oh, hey, come pick me up. Let's go hang out." And I'm like, "Why can't you just come pick me up?" And he's like, "Oh, I've been drinking, so I can't drive." I was like,
Okay.
and plus he was like from out of town, so he hasn't really settled in yet. So I was like, okay, so I went to go pick him up. He comes stumbling to my car, hella drunk.
Oh my goodness.
And I was just like, oh God, I should just leave. I should just drive off right now. But I didn't. And so then I go, he's like, oh, I'm like, okay, where do you want to go? And then he goes, let's go hang out at your place. I'm like, first of all, I live with my parents. And second of all, no. And then he goes, I'm like, so I stopped in at my house in the driveway because I was like, well, where do you want to go? Because if you don't know where you want to go, then I'm just gonna drop you off at home. Because where he was at wasn't his home; it was like a cousin's place. And then he's like, well, like, why can't we just go inside? I was like, do you want to get beat up by my brothers? Because they're gonna be like, no. I was like, no. And then he's like, okay. And he's talking to me for a second, and he was like, hold on. And then he opens the door and throws up in my driveway. And I'm like,
oh my God.
and I'm like, that's disgusting.
Oh God.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna take you home. And so then I take him home, and we pull up into the parking area or whatever, and him and his brothers and their friends were all like outside, and they're all hanging out outside drinking. He's like, do you want to come inside? I was like, that looks like a situation I do not want to be in. I'm like, because everyone looks hella scary. Everyone looks like they can do terrible things.
Oh my God.
And so I was
What
like,
do you mean by that?
they just all look like really bad people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then I was like, nope. And then he's like, okay, fine. He goes, well, can I at least get a kiss before I go? I was like, I was like, you can just.
After you threw up.
Yeah. I was like, nope, you can just get out of my car. That's fine. He's like, oh, all right. Well, can I call you tomorrow? It's like, sure. And then, right before he leaves, he's like, kisses me on the cheek. I'm like, ugh.
Ew.
I'm like, how disgusting. And you know the worst part of that whole thing is? I still went on a date with him.
After.
How was the second date then?
Oh, even worse.
Oh my God.
Even worse.
Kind of want to know.
Okay, so with this, so the date that we actually
Wait,
went
oh,
on-
this is not an ex.
no, this is just a guy I went on a date with.
Okay.
And so this would never be it. And
Oh my gosh.
but we went on a date and we went to Applebee's, which is fine. And we went there and we had dinner, I think. And when the check came, he slides the check over to me and he says,
Oh my God.
"You got this, right?" he goes,
No
"I'll get the
way.
next one." And I was just like, in that situation, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? No. So I was like, sure.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I still went on the other date with him.
Another date with him?
Okay, what are you learning from all of this?
that I make really, really dumb decisions. Okay, to be fair, I was really young, okay?
Okay, but did he pick up the tab with the next one? The third date?
Okay, so the second time the first time we went out, it was TGI Fridays. The second time we went, it was Applebee's. And the reason why he wanted to go to Applebee's, because Applebee's has a 2 for $20 meal thing. And so that's why
You picked up TGI Fridays and he picked up Applebee's. It's 2 for $20.
Yeah. And so after that, I was just like, you know what? I think I gave this dude enough chances. I feel like 3 strikes and you're just done.
Yeah.
I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like,
You're so kind.
I'm surprised I mustered myself through all of that. But that was when I was young. I don't even give guys a chance anymore like that.
No.
If you mess up on the first one, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, another story about the same guy. It was when me and our 2 friends, we were living together. And so we went to go eat. We went to go get lunch at this Thai restaurant, right? And so I don't know why the universe does this to me. And so he saw me and he's like, hey. He comes and he's like, he want to say hi. Tell me why he sits down and our food is on the table. And he uses his bare hand to pick the shrimp and eat it.
Oh
and
God.
I just remember my friend who's sitting next to us. She goes, sure, help yourself with your bare hand that we don't know if it's been washed or not. I was like, but he's so dumb. He didn't even catch that she said that.
Wow.
And I was just like, I'm like, who invited him over? And they're like, you did. I didn't invite anybody. He self-invited himself. That was not an invite. He just saw me and was like, oh, hey, I'm going to come over and eat your food, apparently. And I was like, oh my God. But that was the last time I think that was the last time we ever saw him.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah.
Good
That's
riddance.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. Oh my God. That's so crazy.
So it's not a horror story, but
That's horror. That's scary. Mine's kind of scary too.
no, mine's bad.
Yeah,
Yours-
bad. Mine's scary.
Okay.
Mine's scary days. So I feel like because I got married young, I didn't really have a lot of these date stories from back then. So my scary stories are like later on in life. And I feel like it's scarier now or like in my 30s, like when I started dating again.
Okay.
Because I feel like these guys now, they're more bold or they're like, I don't know what it is. Okay, so this is the date. I went on a date with this guy. Luckily, it's just like a block down from where I was living. This is in Baltimore, Maryland. Nice guy. We're talking, we kept getting drinks. I don't drink very much, as you guys know.
Yep.
So I really was pacing myself, but we ended up there late. I don't even know. Like, I think it was like 8 to midnight or something. Like, and I don't usually stay on dates that long, right?
That's a long
Long time. Just like he just like kept talking, kept buying drinks, Towards midnight, I was like, okay, I'm going to use a restroom and I'm going to head out. And then I go to the restroom and he followed me. Like, as I finished the restroom, he came out. He came in through the front door to the restroom, women's room.
Oh, wow.
And was like trying to like make out with me and stuff. And I got scared. I like pushed him away and out into the doorway. And I was like, no, like I'm going to go home. And he was like trying to keep me there. And he was almost like trying to follow me home. And I was like, actually, I live really close. Yeah, I was like, actually, I live really close. So I'm just going to walk home and go. And I was afraid that he was going to walk me home. But the red flag, luckily, like he didn't. And I just got away. But later on, I was thinking about it. I was like, this guy like kind of knows what he was doing, because when we were on the date talking, he would make statements like, my dates are usually so long. They're usually like 6 hours long or something like that, And I was like, wow, okay. I don't even know how I responded, but I was thinking about that. I was like, he purposely keeps the girls there for a really long time, gets them drunk, and then like
Tries to take advantage of them.
tries to take advantage of them.
Yeah.
And thank God, like I wasn't drunk,
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, this is like how he does it.
Well,
It's so
multiple
scary.
things. Thank God you didn't get drunk, and thank God he didn't slip something into your drink.
Yeah.
That's
uh-huh.
scary.
Yeah. But I was like totally freaked out for sure. Like totally freaked out.
And thankfully you got home okay.
Yeah.
and
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a really scary experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had any experiences with like date drug or
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
What were we watching? Because date rape, drugs, and date situations are a real thing. Like I've heard stories from girls that I know. I'm also very careful, so nothing has ever happened to me. And like couple girls have told me that it's happened to them a couple times. I'm like, girl, you need to learn how to be more careful. But what other things are you guys doing to protect your? Have you guys been in other situations where you're?
Me, I don't think it's about like hey, you gotta learn how to be more careful. I don't think it's like that. I think sometimes when people want to be deceptive and deceive you, they're gonna do
no matter how much precaution you take.
no matter how careful you are.
Yeah.
And I have come across that, but I feel like for me, the times I've come across it, it's actually within
Your friend
I know.
circle. Yeah.
Acquaintances.
Yeah.
It's not strangers.
You said that, and that really scared
Yeah.
me a little bit.
Yeah.
So that has happened to you around people you know.
Around acquaintances, not my friend,
Okay.
but
Friends
Friends of friends of friends.
like friends of friends or newer friends that are just acquaintances and not real friends, you know.
Mm.
And I know like one time it did happen, and thank goodness my friend, he was so aggressive in trying to make me stay.
Wait, tell us the story. Yeah. Yeah.
So we work for the same company.
Okay.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, at that point we work for the same company. And he's like one of those douchebags that would think that he's, you know, like Wolf on Wall Street, like trying to hustle and do drugs and all that stuff. Like that's a character that he is. Very masculine, very like dog dirty. But then I didn't know like all of this until later, because I have a pretty high tolerance for alcohol and I know myself. But for some reason, it just was so bad at that moment and I was not myself. And there was a moment when everyone was trying to go. It was me, a girlfriend, him, and two other guys. Those guys were leaving. We were trying to leave. He kept pushing to have me stay. And then when I was in the bathroom, he kept trying to push my girlfriend out the door and she was fighting. She's like, no, and she was trying to get me out of the bathroom so
my God.
so I could go with them. And thank goodness she didn't let me stay. But at one point when we were trying to leave, I fell. I was standing and I just fell and my head hit the coffee table.
Wow.
That's not normal.
Yeah.
Like that's not normal.
Even though, like, no matter how drunk you've been in your past, that has never happened before. Yeah.
Your knees just don't get weak and you fall and hit a coffee table. Like I knocked out while standing. It was so bad because I'm super careful. I'm actually beyond careful. I'm paranoid. You know what I mean? But when you're with people that you think you know because they're in your circle, it's scary that you still have to have your guards up. Especially like us moving to a new city. We want to make new friends. This is not only with guys. This is with female friends too. You go to a party with a female friend.
Never know.
You never know if she's gonna sell you out and screw you over.
Yeah.
You don't know if she's gonna sell you out and dip out of the party and leave you there, and maybe you get drugged and you wake up by yourself the next day. You know, like you just never know. So you always have to be on guard all the time. It's tough being a woman in a big city trying to date
And just even trying to make friends, even trying to like, have fun and enjoy life and be social. It's very scary.
It is scary. It's like, how do you find that fine balance of being social and not being bitter or jaded, but also remaining smart? It's like a fine, beautiful act, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's a scary scenario.
I mean, good thing that your friend didn't leave.
Didn't leave you.
I'm glad she didn't leave.
Wow.
Because, you know, some girls just are like, okay, well, he says he's going to take care of her and she knows him. So,
and, you know, she seems like she's not fighting it or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You never know. But for me, it's like when you go out with girlfriends and they're beyond influence, you don't know if you should let them go with someone, even if they think they want to go. So my policy is if we go there, we come home together, you know? And
whatever you do afterwards, that's on you.
If she's drunk, I'm not leaving.
I'm not,
her.
even if she says, but I think I want to. Like, I'm not. I'm taking your butt home, you know? And you do whatever after, like Mal said. There's one time the girlfriend, she's like, but I think I want to hang out with him some more. And me and my girlfriend were like, girl, he's not cute. And then she was like, really? We're like, no, we're not letting you do that. No. And then she's like, okay, fine. So they exchanged numbers, but she didn't go, you know? We wouldn't let her.
That's what I'm going to do from now on. If I have a friend who doesn't want to leave, I'll be like, he's not cute.
Yeah.
Even if he might be, I'm like, he's not cute.
Got your goggles on.
Yeah. He's not cute.
Uh-huh.
Just trust me on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next
It
day,
is-
she can make her own decision.
Yeah. It is so scary, right? Like, let's talk a little bit more about date drug. There's actually some situation right now at UCLA where a couple of girls, there were date drugs. I don't know the full story, but there's like a full investigation going on right now. And what were we watching? Law and Order or something? Or like a documentary?
I always watch
something?
Law and Order.
Yeah. Basically, there's a person working with a bartender.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And so
That
like,
actually, I think I've heard that actually has been true. I think there was like
that is really
Yeah.
creepy. So
You mean a predator was working
with the
in
bartender.
the bar? Oh, that's messed up.
That's messed up. So I wanted to bring that up since we saw this. I thought
There
that was
is
so
a-
scary.
Yeah. There is a Law and Order's SVU episode about that.
Yeah, where the predator, like, he'll pick out a girl that he likes or whatever, end up bringing her to the bar and getting her a drink. And the bartender knows if he brings it over, he's going to drug the drink and then he gets
that's
money or
lawsuit.
whatever. Yeah. So just be very careful, like you said, to like watch your drink,
Yeah.
because you can't really taste anything
No,
with these
no,
date
no,
drugs.
you can't.
They're colorless,
Yeah.
tasteless,
yeah,
odorless. You can't detect them. And
Well, they have those like nail polishes that they say that can detect date drugs.
nail polish. What?
Yeah, like you stick it in your drink.
You
if
put
it
your
change-
nail.
Yeah, your finger in it, and if it changes color, they have.
I gotta buy that.
Oh my god.
I don't know if it actually
we
works.
should test
my
it.
finger.
Yeah, well, we don't have date
Well, it's not like
drugs.
we don't have it laying around,
Yeah.
you know.
It is illegal, date drugs, very scary stuff. So just be careful out there.
Yeah,
See.
especially during Halloween, everyone loves to go out, have fun,
Exactly.
drink, party, meet people. Just be careful. I mean, I think at least for us when we go out, we always have at least one sober friend all the time. And she's
a designated
she's
driver,
a designated driver,
which is
and,
usually me.
and she's always the mother too. So she keeps an eye on everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Scary. What about any kind of just awkward, funny stories, date stories?
I think the only one I had was I don't know, maybe I told it in an episode already, but it was maybe too long ago. So it was like one of the dates I went on. It was here in LA. And we went on a date somewhere in Santa Monica. I think it was like a wine thing, whatever. Anyways, so we get there and seating is really close to each other for some weird reason, all everywhere. Especially when it's just two people, it's like really close to each other. Anyway, so I'm sitting here facing the street, and he's sitting in front of me facing the wall because it's very narrow. And so we're talking, and he's just a little bit loud, and a little bit
Obnoxious.
obnoxious and odd. Like he's very, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this, but he's very all about biking and biking from Santa Monica to Venice and biking here and biking there. Bikes everywhere. Like every other word was bike, right? He's a lawyer too.
That's a whole lifestyle. People who
Yeah.
It is.
bike,
Like
they
people who
love.
run marathons. It's a whole lifestyle.
Yeah, and so like every other word was just like bike this, and every other word was, oh, I love Santa Monica. I love Santa Monica. It was like those are like, I swear those were all the words that he had that he
That
said.
was his vocabulary.
Yeah, and so there was a couple sitting not next to us, but it's a couple sitting right over us, and I just remember looking over the couple. The couple was just kind of looking over at me, and I was just like. And, I'm smiling, trying to get through this date. And so then the couple gets up and leave. And so they're walking behind him. And then I look up and I look up at the couple. And right as they're passing by and I'm looking up at him, he goes, and so I kind of chuckle. And then his wife hits him and pushes him and to keep going. And so I was just like, you know what? That's bad. When even like the people, the strangers next to me are like,
no,
no,
not the one.
This is not the one. Okay. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, that's just so bad.
Yeah.
I think that was probably the funniest one I've ever went on. Because I just remember I was telling a guy friend about it, and he goes, that's a real story. I'm like, that is a real story. he goes, dang, how loud was this guy? I'm like, super loud. I think it was just more like the obnoxious. I love Santa Monica. And I love biking.
But I don't like that either. When somebody talks so loudly, it's like, what are you trying to announce to
But
people?
we're loud.
Yeah, I know.
We're loud.
Okay,
You are loud.
so
You are loud.
So I'm loud when I'm excited and I'm passionate about something. I am loud, but I'm typically only loud around my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like, I mean, we have been loud before at restaurants, but usually on a date, like, we're not.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed on a date.
We're like demure.
Yeah. Very cutesy, very demure. Okay.
I'm loud because I have bad ears, so I always think people can't hear me.
Real-
I mean, that's not as bad.
funny.
That's not as bad as an actual loud guy I went on a date with. Like,
Really?
no, okay, you
There's
know,
another loud
but,
guy?
yeah, because it's true. Me and Cash, we are loud and we do have a loud voice. But I didn't realize how quiet we actually were until I met this guy. So I get into the car because he comes to pick me up. He gets into the car and the first thing he says to me is like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, he is so
Why are you
loud."
yelling?
He's so loud. His voice is so loud. So when we're at the restaurant and we're eating and he's like, this is the date that was talking down on waiters
Wait,
and waitresses
that one.
and
Okay.
didn't
Tip,
didn't think that
Oh no, wait.
like he didn't think that they deserve a tip basically.
Oh.
You know, he was that guy.
I
Like,
made that comment.
yeah, and so he's talking so loud and I'm like embarrassed to be there because he's like literally like, "Oh no, I only tip like 5%, 10% maybe." And I was like,
Why would you scream that out?
yeah, I know. I'm sure he didn't mean to scream it out, but that's what it sounded like. And I was just like, oh my God, this guy is totally just like so embarrassing. Like everyone around us is probably like, what a cheap ass.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, he was the one that I got out of the car really, really fast. Okay, you know what? I didn't.
Oh, he is?
So I didn't get
Okay.
out. Okay, I didn't think I got out of the car fast. I think I just, I think we pulled up to my place and I just got out the car. I mean, I'm pretty sure I waited for the car to stop. I in my mind, I think I waited for the car to stop and I got out. And then I went in. It's not like I had to buzz in or anything because it's my place. So I go in, and then the next day he texts me and he's like, "So if a girl gets out of a car faster than Flash, does that mean there's no second date?" So I was just like, "No, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I just don't feel like we have a connection." He's like, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
Yeah.
So
I have been in that situation though when I just want to get out of here.
yeah,
It's like so awkward. Okay, bye. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to get out of there fast,
Yeah.
but I'm really trying to be like courteous.
yeah, like try to not make it seem
Yeah.
like you just want to get out of there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I thought I did that, but I guess I didn't.
It's awkward.
But I think you have a face where like if you're not interested, like
Yeah.
you can't fake it.
it's hard when you're not enjoying it and you have no connection with this person.
Yeah.
Man,
It's funny. Like for me, sometimes when I'm just checked out, I'll just be there like, "Oh, really? Oh, that's great. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah." Like it's just I just say a bunch of filler words.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the whole conversation is I'm just saying filler words. And sometimes they keep talking and talking and talking.
And don't you feel so bad though? It's
Yeah.
like, can I say something to end this date earlier? But
No.
you can't,
You can't.
Well, the thing is that you can't really have an RBF anyways on a date,
Yeah.
You still want to seem kind of interested
Yeah.
for your own safety.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Right? What made
because
me
you
think
never
of
know.
that is I was watching some YouTube or some little video, and somebody was asking people random questions about dates and stuff, and this guy, I don't even remember the question, but the guy goes, "You know what, like me as a guy and guys all over, we should be grateful that girls are saying yes and going on a date with us. Because can you imagine being a girl and then you're just like meeting up with this random guy who's way bigger than you, who can really take advantage of you physically? As a woman, I'd be scared.
Yeah.
So we should be grateful that girls are even saying yes to go on a date with us." That was his answer for whatever the question was. And I was like, that is so true. Like,
Yeah.
our safety is like at stake
Yeah.
times, A funny story for me is the awkward guy that I went on a date with. He was so awkward, and during dinner there was like no connection. He was just talking about all kinds of random stuff. He's like a little bit nerdy, a little bit awkward. We love nerds, but he was just a little bit awkward. And he was like, he went like this to me, and I was like, oh my God, I think he wants to hold my hand. So can you do it? We're gonna demonstrate. So I went.
Oh my God, was he awkward or were you awkward?
I'm awkward. Because I didn't want to hold his hand.
But who goes like that?
Yeah, so I like gave him a high five. I gave him a
But
five.
who goes like this?
Yeah,
though?
like
No, I know.
give me your hand. I want to hold your hand. Was what he was saying by doing this, and so I gave him five, and he's like, no, I want to hold your hand. I was like, oh God.
He said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, oh gosh, now I really have to like give him my hand. And then like I did give him his hand for a little bit, and then I like went back to go eat.
Say, no, I don't want to.
I don't know. I don't know why. It's like sometimes I cannot find the words
Yeah.
to explain how I feel
Yeah.
or to say something without like, hurting that person or whatever, So then I just do it because I'm like afraid. I don't know how to say it.
Or you want to let them down?
Yeah.
Embarrass them?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Maybe it's self-preservation like we just talked about. Maybe I'm afraid that if, I can't really reveal that I don't like them, in case something happens.
Until after the fact, like,
Yeah.
sorry, bye. never will
Exactly.
talk. You know?
You could have been like, oh, I need my hands to eat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I need my hands to eat.
Yeah.
So
I did slowly take my hand back. And then towards the end of the date, I was like, oh, you don't have to drop me off at home.
Oh, he picked you up?
Yeah, he picked me up.
Oh.
He's, where does he live? Like Calabasas. And we went to eat in Calabasas too.
Oh.
well, he
drove all the way over
here to
Calabasas
pick you
to
up,
pick me
and then
up.
went all the way back.
back. And then,
Oh,
I was
Is that
like,
a red
oh,
flag?
yeah.
Is that a red flag?
I feel like
Why would
yeah.
you do that? Unless he was hoping you get drunk and stay at his place.
Oh,
or
I don't know.
he was hoping that you go back to his place.
Or he's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Maybe. I didn't think about that.
most men, if they come to your place,
They're not gonna drive
they'll
back.
pick a place in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
He, for some reason, oh yeah, he was like, oh, now you guys, they're talking about that. Now it made me think. He's like, oh yeah, I made a reservation at a place closer to you, but they didn't really have anything, so I made a reservation in Calabasas. I was like, okay,
weird.
that's fine.
Far.
That's weird. I never even thought about that
That is
before.
weird.
I just took his word at face
Yeah.
value. Like, oh, I couldn't get a reservation at this place that's
No.
closer, so we're going back to Calabasas. Okay, fine. But it was weird. And then I was like, oh, you don't have to take me home. I will take an Uber home. I don't want you to have to drive all the way back to Beverly Hills and then back to Calabasas. He's like, are you sure? I was like, yep, I'm going to order Uber right now. And I did. And he's like, okay, so I'll wait out front with you then. And while we're standing out there, another awkward thing happened. It was like a little chilly. I don't remember. It was like winter. And I had a scarf on. And so he like goes to touch my scarf. Like I had my scarf like right in front of my chest. His hand is coming towards my chest. And I like moved over.
You saw it in slow motion?
Yeah. So I like moved and his hand ends up on my shoulder. And he goes, oh, I'll just give you a massage. He started giving me a massage. And I was like, I like.
But why was he reaching for your chest?
He's like, oh, I really like your scarf. Like he was going to like pet my scarf or something.
No, do not touch my
Yeah,
scarf. That's
don't-
on my chest.
Yeah, for
No.
real.
I just was like,
weird.
it was like happening so fast. I just like moved, and he's like, oh, okay, I'll give you a massage.
Yeah, because it's weird for him to respond with, "Oh, I'll just give you a massage."
That's awkward
what were you-
too.
so what
Yeah,
were you
what are
trying to
you
do? Grab
doing?
me?
That's so weird and
Yeah.
awkward.
yeah.
And I just went like, it's okay, And then my Uber arrives, and I'm like having my Uber, and yeah, and he still was trying to message me for like a year.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
that's
on the
so
holidays,
weird.
weekends, he'd be like, Elsie, hi, how are you? How's it going?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I
Happy
was
New
just
Year.
like,
Do you ever respond?
No, never.
So he's having
Never.
a conversation with himself at
Yeah.
this point.
Never. Yeah.
That's weird.
But that was weird.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Honestly, like if I'm reaching out to somebody and they don't respond after 1 or 2 attempts, I get the point.
Yeah.
And most reasonable people, they get the point.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's just if they don't get the point, then that is a red flag that they don't understand boundaries.
Yeah.
And they're probably a little bit cuckoo.
Yeah. He's even said, even during the day, he was like, as men, we have to try really hard. Like when we see something we like, we need to like go for it and make it happen and keep trying until we get what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
no,
was just
that's
like,
That's the worst advice ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to somebody who doesn't know boundaries.
Yeah,
It's kinda
exactly.
Because when a woman says no, he might not register as she's saying no.
Yeah. Yeah.
He might be like, well, let me change your mind.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Like, what
Yep.
the hell?
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
Scary. That's insane.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that story was supposed to be funny.
That wasn't funny anymore.
But it turned out to be really creepy, which you have made me realize that it was really creepy. I laughed it off because I was like, what a nerd. What a weird nerd. But it is kind of creepy.
When you first told the story, it was funny.
Yeah.
Like the whole massage thing.
Yeah.
At first, it was funny.
Yeah, but now that you're telling us again, I'm like,
In
wait.
the context behind it,
Oh, so he drove all the way from Calabasas to drive all
I
the way
never
back?
even thought
I'm like,
about that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I would never, because
Thank goodness.
he would do a W. And it's
Yeah.
like, as a woman, you're trying to consider it like, no, let's
Yeah.
not do that. Because
Yeah.
I know later you're going to have to drive me back. And what if you have a few drinks and you get tired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Especially for a first date. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that about that. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I feel like once I got into the car, that's when he told me that that reservation didn't go through, and I made a reservation somewhere else.
You were already in the car.
Yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
said, change the plan.
I think so. I
That's
think so.
okay.
If my memory is correct, and I was just like, okay,
You're
cool.
easygoing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. I would have tucked
Luckily,
the roll
I'm
out of
still
that
here.
car so fast. I'm kidding.
Luckily, I'm still here.
Oh my God.
Wait.
Wow.
Does anybody have any funny date stories? Do you have any? You said you didn't really have any funny.
No, I don't really have any funny dates. I was telling Maul, I have some funny dates, but then like, they're not funny if you share it with someone. It's only funny if you were there.
Oh, it's like an inside joke funny
Yeah.
date.
I mean, yeah, and like the whole holding hand thing. I did have a interaction where I went on a date with somebody, and I really liked him. I don't know why I liked him. I think I like the idea of him because
We never know why we like them or why they like us, right?
he's not even the type that I would go for, but I think I just like the idea of him. I don't know why.
Mhm.
I don't know. I probably made up all these things in my head.
No.
I don't know.
You made him sound better than he was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it was stupid. So I really liked him for some reason, and then you know I had a few drinks, maybe one too many, and I did reach out my hand, and you know, and I was just like, hold my hand, and he was like, and then he suddenly treated me like, okay, you know what, you had too much to drink, and you gotta go home. We wrapped everything up, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna go. So he basically like, dipped out, but then I was tipsy and not okay, and I'm just like. I got upset because I was just like, how could you leave me? We're here on a date and you're totally just checking out. And I don't know. I feel like if I was a man and my date got tipsy, I would do what I can to make sure she gets home safely. You know, I would at least be like, hey, let me watch you get into your Uber.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like let me watch you get into your Uber before I head out. You know, but he didn't. He didn't. He just wanted to dip out, and I thought that was really. I was really upset.
Yeah.
And then later, he felt bad, and he was texting me, and he said, "You know what? I'm sorry. You know, like, do you want me to come over? We could talk about it. Like, I'm so sorry." And I was upset. I was like, "No, I don't want to talk to you." And it's just like it's so messed up because we're on a date together, and you know, if I was a gentleman, I wouldn't just dip out like that.
Yeah.
You know. And I said, you know, like. If my date is tipsy and she's a woman, someone else could take advantage of her. And when he left, some other guy did come and he was trying to talk to me. And, you know, so my friend was one block down. She was going to meet up with us anyways. So I knew that that's the plan is we're going to all meet up together. So she came over and, you know, she just like, we just went home, you know, went home together. But I was so upset.
Yeah.
Because I really liked him for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you freaked him out with the holding hand thing.
I don't know, cause
I got freaked out by this guy asking me to hold
'Cause-
my hand. So
yeah, but I was just like,
But I think like as a guy, I think it's like for women, it's ours is like out of fear of like you being a creeper and being a predator.
yeah.
But I think like as a guy, you know, I think if a girl's really drunk and she's like, "Oh, hold my hand," just fucking
she's just
do
being
it.
cute. Yeah,
And
do it and
I didn't say like hold my hand. I was like, you know, like can you hold my hand? Like it was so innocent.
I'm like, that's still a little creepy.
It was
I'll give you that. I know it was innocent, but I don't know. I'm just thinking like it's weird, but I get it. You were drunk, so
that's funny. That is kind of funny though. Have you done anything funny on dates or anything
No.
funny awkward yourself? No.
no, I tend to be very like people say I tend to come off shy
Okay.
on dates. or like I don't talk very much on dates.
Yeah.
Which is
I could see that.
You think
even though in my
did.
mind I think I did.
Mhm. Yeah.
And they're like, no,
No, you barely talk.
yeah, you barely talk. But really, I swear I talked a lot. And they're like, nope,
Really?
you didn't.
No.
So yeah, no, I'm usually really apparently shy and don't talk.
Yeah.
and you're legit surprised
Yeah,
when you hear that.
yeah.
Well, yeah. Awkward thing that I've done before is again a holding hand situation.
What is wrong with you two?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
But what happened was we had dinner at this place and you have to come down the stairs. It's like really steep, curved stairs. And so I had these high heels on and we had dinner and we were like, oh, let's go and walk around the area. So we were walking down the stairs and I was like walking down, holding the railings. And he's like, you can hold my arm if you need to. I was like, okay. So then I held onto his arm and we were like walking down the stairs. And then as soon as we got downstairs, my hand traveled down his arms and like I grabbed his hand and held it. And then I looked at him and was like, oh shit, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I'm still holding his hand. Like, I'm so sorry. That's really awkward that I'm holding your hand. And we started laughing. And he was like, oh my God. He's like, yeah, that is really awkward, but it's okay. Like, well, since we're holding hands now, let's just keep holding hands. But it was hilarious because
Because it was just like this. It's just
Yeah.
yeah, like
Accidentally.
hold her arm. Like no, like you're like that. Like you're going down the stairs.
Oh.
Yeah. When we got down to the stairs, I just like held his hand. I was like, oh my God. And this is the first day. So I was like, holy shit. I'm so sorry. That's awkward that I'm holding your hand right now.
See, but that's the appropriate way
It is
to
a sense of
respond.
humor.
Yeah, he was funny
Yeah.
about it too.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'm not going to let go now. We might as
Yeah.
well just keep holding hands.
Yeah.
see, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, but it's not like that guy couldn't have made a
Yeah, he
made-
should have
made
been
it fun,
cute.
you know.
Yeah, it was.
But he made you feel stupid.
It made me
Yeah.
feel so-
Yeah.
I felt so weird, and then he like dipped out, and later he was
That's
all
weird, too.
apologizing.
That's
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you apologizing? It's over.
yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, okay.
Stop holding people's hands.
I know, right? Until it's time. When is it appropriate to hold hands?
You know
When is
what?
I
time?
don't know.
You know what I don't like?
Huh.
I don't like sweaty hands.
I
somebody-
have
if somebody has
never.
Some people get nervous.
I know, but if somebody has sweaty hands, I'm sorry. I don't like that. The only guy in my whole life who had sweaty hands was a guy I went to a dance with in the 7th grade.
Mm.
I liked him so much,
Aw.
but he had sweaty hands.
So then you didn't like him anymore?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait.
I continue to like him, but I was
Okay.
bullied, and one of the girls who bullied him, bullied me, went out with him.
Oh, wow.
So I was like,
That's why he got sweaty hands. Karma. Just kidding.
Aw.
I'm kidding.
I've never held a sweaty hand before, so
Yeah, let me think. No, I don't think so.
really?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't fault him for that. It's like,
no, I
can't help
couldn't
it.
either.
I'm not faulting him, but
Yeah.
when you hold someone's sweaty hands, you'll realize it's really glossy down there.
Well, I won't be climbing no mountains with him. That's for sure. We won't fall to our death.
If you guys have to hold your baby, don't give it to the dad.
Yeah,
Don't give it to the dad.
Butterfingers.
Yeah, baby's gonna fall out.
Yeah.
Right. So we're gonna wrap it up here. That was some scary dating stories and some awkward, funny dating stories. Share some of your stories with us. Thank you so much.
And before we go, who are we today?
Yeah.
You want to go first?
I am obviously Cruella.
I am Beetlejuice.
Or maybe not so obvious, because do you think she looks like Sia a little bit?
Right? I was so Sia because the bangs were so long. I had to like chop it off.
Yeah.
'Cause, Sia like her
Give
bangs are
yourself
long.
a trim.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Hey, but that's okay. I'm between Beetlejuice could be turned to Joker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Joker too.
Yeah.
I'm Holly from Breakfast at Tiffany.
Mhm.
So
All right, guys. Happy Halloween. Stay safe.
stay safe.
See you
Bye,
next time.
guys.
Bye.